Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and it is Sunday, so that means it's Scraplift Crafternoon time, favourite day of the week, where I get to lift some very talented people. And today we're lifting Tammy Hawes, who is from Scrap the Boys, and look at this amazing layout. Well, I started out with a one thought concept direction, and I ended up changing my mind as I went throughout. I was going to use some of these, but then I chose not to. So I am starting with this background here from Scrapbook Fantasies, Cutest Farm number 4, and I'm using that as my base. Now, I don't have 49er market, so therefore I'm going to build mine similar to what Tammy has in hers, and she has this square framing thing happening in the middle. And at first I thought I'd do like a notebooky sort of border on the frame in the middle, but then I changed my mind and I decided I'll go with more of a country feel, and I'll use a bit of a burlap or Hessian stamp to create my border. So I'm just going to put that one away for now. Pardon me. And then I will start with, as I said, the burlap, and I'm just looking for that stamp while I rule up a grid. Now, because it is in lead pencil, you won't see it on this busy background, but it's just a guide for me so that I can work out where I want the stamps to go so that I have that working space. Now, as I said, as I was working through this layout, I changed my mind heaps of times. My direction changed quite a few ways throughout, and I'm happy with how I did it in the end, but it was a bit of a journey. So as I said, I found the burlap stamp, and I'm just going to line this down the edge of the square to build my frame. And you can see that I overlap in places, and that's fine because it doesn't have to be the same consistency when you know that things are going to go over the top of it. And I want it to feel a bit rustic and not exactly a planned contour like the 49er market has on their layouts. So I am adding in some stitching over the top just to make the exact frame stand out, and you can see that it doesn't have to be overly bold, but it does stand there, and you can see it giving the image of the frame, which is what that beautiful piece of paper that Tammy used had. So this allows me to set up my framing network for my layout, and I'm actually quite pleased with how it turned out. Something simple and proving that you don't have to have the most common and most current pieces and to create the same type of imagery or the same type of layout. So this is a perfect opportunity for all those branding strips that we collect. So I'm not going to use washi like Tammy has. I'm using branding strips. And in this here, I've just pulled together some scraps that I've got lying around in all the different colours and shades to put in behind my photos. Now, this photo is of a cow. I know that's pretty unusual. Why would I have a photo of a cow? Well, I actually like capturing the obscure in the world. And one day when I was driving to the local shopping centre, the dairy farm cows were down along the fence, and so I just stopped to take a photo because the sky was magnificent with the gum trees and so forth. But this one particular cow just looked up as I was taking the photos and was very forlorn in its look, and I just loved its eyes, so I took the photo, and that's why I wanted to capture it. And it is going to be a companion page to one that I did last week for my 52 favourites. Now, as I said, I'm using the branding strips on this one, and I'm going to use it the same way Tammy did with washi, and I'm going to tear it at different levels and different angles, and that's going to produce that border at the top. So I always keep my branding strips because you never know when you're going to use them, and today is a perfect opportunity to do so. And I'm just going to tear them, like I said, both top and bottom in different layers, and I'm just going to layer them across. I've got different patterns and just the different shades for the layout. So the shades are from the cows and they're also from the papers. and that way it allows it to complementarily blend into a harmonious layout. And this is the fun part. This is where you get to tear paper and you get to put it down in different layers. And I really like the effect that this has. And it is a perfect reason why you should be keeping your branding strips, because there are lots of different ways of using them. And this one worked out perfectly. I didn't have to cut into any papers. I was able to use the branding strips, and I got lots of patterns and lots of shades, and it's all tied in nicely. I did add in a notepad torn piece of cardstock that I cut out with my paper punch, and I also put in the days of the week, because that's just what cows do. Every day of the week they get milked, they get loaded up with food, and the process starts again. So as I said, I changed my direction lots and lots of times with what I was going to use in my clustering part to match what Tammy had on hers. In the end, I decided to go with these die cuts. So they're Australian in nature by having the gum nuts in there. They're the gum leaves. And then I've added some sunflowers just for the bright contrast. I've thrown in a cogwheel in between because that's like the farming sort of feel to it. And then that's how this has come together. And there's a little bit of a wattle die cut just to give that overall Australian feel to the layout. And down the bottom here, I'm going to build a little scene type of thing. I'm just putting in the fence where the cows were behind, and I've got the gum tree that they were standing under, and I'm just putting the leaves in over there because the whole focus is that one cow. Now over to the right hand side of the photo, you'll see that I put a second photo underneath instead of the ticket that Tammy has on hers. I had done this photo large and I had done it small, and I just thought, well, this was a perfect opportunity to use that and instead of the ticket, and I just put that extra photo in underneath to give that layering effect. So I'm happy with how this is coming up, and when I asked my daughter for a title, she just came up with, well, why don't you call it Moo Venture? And it's true, it is a moo adventure. We did go along, saw the cows, the moos, and there it came together. And it was funny that it was my daughter that we used to call Madam Moo who came up with it. She loved cows. She still does. She just still does love cows. And so it was perfect that she gave me the title for this layout. Now to finish off, I'm just putting in some Nuvo drops into the 3 points of interest to draw your eye around. I'm happy with how it is. I have that top element there that she had as a quote on hers. I have the little flower there as a cluster point that she had with her charm. And then I have the bottom tied in exactly like she's had hers. So not exactly a 49er market, but a mimic of it. And that's how my layout has come up like hers. And I'm very happy with it. I think it's a great layout. I love the papers. There's the original, as you can see, and this is how mine has turned out. There is a full playlist linked down below of all the wonderful people playing along. They are so very, very talented, and you'll probably see 10 different ways this layout has been interpreted. And I can't wait to go and watch and see what everybody else has done. So go and check them out and leave us all a bit of a thumbs up. YouTube loves those thumbs. Thanks everybody for watching. Happy scrapping till next time. I hope you like what I presented today, and I'll see you in my next video.